Hello and welcome to episode 23. Absolutely flying by, and before we know it, fingers crossed, it will be the start of the season. But before then, we've got some wonderful guests lined up, and we have one today in our dear friend of the show and now considered a friend of our own, Kieran, the Bengals fan.
And don't forget, award-winning.
Award-winning, yes.
You've won more awards
about that before the intro.
Actually, out of the four of us, there's only one that didn't win an award, isn't there?
There is.
Who was that like?
I don't know where I am in terms of your recording, Jamie, but it was you. So.
Well, yeah, like we say, a very, I suppose, we had this discussion today that you and I suppose Chris White, we started to sort of consider you an OG now of the group, because I think you and Chris were sort of the first two that came into the group that none of us actually knew personally. So yeah, and you've been very active since, so we're glad to have you on. Really been looking forward to it. So the usual script for those that might be listening for the first time, we'll discuss why NFL and why the Bengals from Kieran, and then we'll just chat a load of rubbish like we normally do. But we'll start off like we did last week. We're going a bit earlier with what we're drinking today more than anything. Kieran is known for being a bit heavier, but I think I've seen him on a bit of light work today. I don't know. Maybe he's been like me with the free, so we'll see.
I'm just on a Coors today, but I've got it here.
But
Head-size pint glass.
Yeah. That is huge. Love it.
I'm on the old Star of Pramen today.
Oh, is that your favourite beer?
It's one of them. Pilsner Urquell is the other one from the Czech Republic that I really like. To be fair, that one we had last week is that heavily.
It's very nice, that.
Yeah, I've actually, weirdly, I've kept the bottle because I really like the artwork on it.
Yeah, it is good artwork.
So yeah, I've kept that.
Was it Tesco Express you got them from, or Big Tesco?
Big Tesco. If you're out there, Mr. Tesco,
yeah,
get him in your Express shops.
There's an Express round corner, so I need to check. Have you checked the Express? They're not in there.
Yeah, it's not. I checked the one near you as well.
That means having to go further.
I know.
Josh isn't of age to send him yet.
Well, it's like that episode of 2 Pints allowing a packet. Chris, send him to the shop for cigarettes. You can only have someone you have to buy them. I'm on the second Amstel you provided with before awards night, so I've saved this. I've still not had to go and buy beers yet, so I'm just finally. But after today, I'm screwed because there is literally in the drawer in the fridge there is only what's the bloody Strongbow with black fruit, which I'm not
dark
a fan
fruit.
of. Dark fruit.
Give me the Strongbow dark fruits. I'll have them.
Yeah, well. If I do the rounds next week dropping the beers off, I'll bring them to you.
Yeah, because I'm on the hard stuff tonight, so
I thought you were on water.
I'm on water.
Vodka.
Yes, this is vodka straight. Just a passion fruit vodka.
Running early for drinking the year.
Yeah, I literally just finished my my Pepsi Max cherry whilst I had my dinner, and I was like, I'm just gonna have some water. I mean, there's some people that are watching. You can see I've got quite big bags on my eyes. It's been a long day, so. Water for now. Who knows what will happen later on?
So yeah. Now we've covered the important part of the episode. With this.
See you next week.
Yeah. I mean, over to you, Kieran. Obviously, NFL. How did it start? Why the Bengals?
Yeah.
The usual.
How did you find out about us? Really, I want to know that because, like I said, you was one of the first ones that came in. Yeah.
It's Twitter. Probably was about a year ago, maybe. Maybe it was probably when you first started it. I started following you and then listening to the podcast. And then there was just a message up saying, got a group chat on WhatsApp, anyone to join? I was like, that's my sort of crack. Get in with that. And it's just gone from there,
Yeah.
Great little place.
Just snowball to be fair.
A load of crap, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, before obviously Jamie rudely interrupted there and threw a completely different question at. You were about to tell us your journey into NFL, which is the most important part of this episode.
So my journey would probably from my brother. It's a lot, probably 100% because of him. He's he's a massive Patriots fan and a Texans
That one
fan.
quiet.
Texans fan as well, but he's followed for years and years now. Probably trying to think now, must be about 15, 16 years he's followed them. I don't know whether it was when I think it must have been when I moved back from living in South Africa. He asked me if I wanted to come and, he had a team he played for in Bladen up in the northeast. So went along to that and started playing there. Didn't ever play a game, but just trained and stuff. And the first game that I ever watched was the Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl. So the first team that I probably followed was the Seahawks. First jersey was a Marshawn Lynch 24.
Excellent choice.
And I just sort of thought, well, let's just go and pick a different team. Let's not go for a team that's, at the time I thought this is a really good team. Obviously they are a good team, but I thought let's go something different. Let's not go Patriots because my brother supports them. I'm always that different person that'll just be the awkward one. So I had a little look around. So I picked 3 teams that I wanted to follow. What were my choices? So I had the Eagles, purely because of Philadelphia and the Rocky films. I had the Ravens because of the film Blindside, and his name's gone blank now.
Michael's. We talked about this, didn't we, Jamie?
Yeah, we're talking about sports films. Yeah.
And then the Bengals, just because it's a Bengal tiger, so it's pretty cool.
I must admit, the Bengals helmet is probably my favourite one.
It is a sick helmet. And then I just thought, let's just... So I've got a mate who's an Eagles fan and a mate that's a Ravens fan, so I just went, right, let's go on Bengals and something different.
Yeah.
I think they'd just come off their 15-2 season that year into the playoffs, obviously lost. And since then, they just had worse and worse and worse records. So
It's your fault.
I think I can say
so you were a good omen then, yeah.
Caused them to go downhill.
I like the fact you had a few teams to pick from. We've not had anyone that's sort of done that yet.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way you whittled it down.
It's just that sort of connection sort of thing. Like,
Yeah, Ravens have nearly made a Super Bowl since then. The Eagles have won one since then.
yeah.
Bengals haven't won a playoff game.
You'll have your time, though. You'll have your time. Burrows, he's got to be a star, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Burrow's good. Yeah, absolutely. Duke Tobin was speaking today saying that with the free agency, we've got a world-class quarterback. We've got the future in the franchise now, so we need to help him out. So hopefully that means that we'll spend a bit of money on that line and maybe a bit of money on a wide receiver, or pick one up in the draft. Maybe there's a couple there that I've got my eye on. But yeah, things are looking up.
What do you think is going to happen with AJ Green?
I think he'll leave.
Shame.
He'll leave and he'll go somewhere like JJ Watt. He'll try and get that ring, but I don't think he'll go to an absolute contender.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk that the Ravens might try and get him just as a veteran in there, but I don't think he would do that
A couple of years ago,
to Cincinnati.
He was top 3 in the NFL a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great.
It's a shame to lose his experience when you've got a sort of young team coming through. And
yeah.
obviously you'll be adding more youth.
Well, he's got like T. Higgins, who has pretty much said that he's sculpted his game in American football off of AJ Green. So
Yeah.
what better person for T. Higgins to learn off than AJ Green, really?
The second best T. Higgins in the NFL world. Since
That's it. That is it. There's only one actual T. Higgins.
Remember when we spoke about him pre-draft? To say, imagine if he goes to the Giants.
Yeah. Well, it was because it was when we watched the College Bowl, didn't we? The season as he was obviously declaring for the draft, and I still have no knowledge of college football, if I'm honest with you. I know a bit more about the players now because of what Twitter says leading up to the draft, or what Mark drops in, or to be fair, Kieran, you're quite active on the college sort of game at the moment now. The draft's coming up.
Sort of, yeah. It's a lot of like Twitter, just sort of. Obviously, being a Bengals fan, our season's over by the end of September, so for the rest of the year. So it's just looking at different players, and I'll see who's been linked with the Bengals and go and have a bit of look at them.
Yeah.
Hear different teams, like different fans say, "Oh, this guy looks good. I'll have a look at them." Just sort of, just to pass the time, and then just make the draft a bit more interesting as well when you can.
I'm exactly the same. Yeah. Most of my opinions are regurgitated sort of Twitter opinions that I've then, had a look at, and then, like you say, you look a bit further and do your own sort of viewing, and I'll then be like, well, that's now my opinion. I like that, so I'll just regurgitate it all the time in the group. That is it. I hardly watch any college football, like we were discussing before we came on here. I don't have BT Sport at the moment. It's whatever I sort of see online. But I remember we watched that College Bowl, and I had no idea of the players other than obviously the two quarterbacks that were going against each other. And then it came up obviously in the lineup Higgins, and I was like, what the fuck? And then seeing it was T, and I was like, I wonder what his first name is. And then it's like, no, it's just T. And I was like, all right, okay, fair enough. It's like, it was good to see.
The first year for me where I've properly got into the college, properly picked out. I've always had a look at the University of Cincinnati Bearcats as the team, but this year was the first year I've properly followed them and watched the players there and sort of seen that. So it's just for me it's a lot interesting because you can watch them, you can see them coming up and follow them through. So be nice to see if there's any of the players that I've had looks at and got an opinion on come to the Bengals and then go from there really.
I always find the most crazy thing with the college football as well. If you ever watch a college football game, you have more fans in there than in Premier League football matches. It's absolutely
more fans
ridiculous.
in college football than doing NFL, don't we?
It's insane, isn't it?
And about 10% of it's a brass band. It's mental, isn't it? It's just nuts.
I think I'm a little bit hesitant to get fully into college football because I'm so obsessive about things, a bit like you, Tom. That if I fully got into Clemson, who I've become a fan of because we basically take their players in the draft. I just feel like my time will be not well spent obsessing over two football teams, one being the Raiders and one being Clemson. That I'll just become a massive hermit and not leave the house at all. I think that's
it is difficult. Like it's a Saturday as well, isn't it? It's mainly the Saturday, so I mean it's not too bad because Laura is normally asleep by the time that football's on, so I could do it if I wanted. But then, like you say, I mean the amount of time I spend on Twitter reading about the Giants or just like I say, seeing everyone's opinions, and then you like I obsess over that club as it is. Like I say, if I was then to throw a college team in there that and it'd probably be Penn State purely because of Saquon, and then they're nothing special, so it'd just be another team for me to hate because they just deliver nothing for me whatsoever.
You just got no room to put anything in the background either. You just have more jerseys for Matt to put in the background as well.
The Clemson one is just there.
I don't know about you three,
I do like the
with the NFL as well. I tend to follow the Thursday night game, all the Sunday games, and the Monday night games. So it's a lot of time spent following it, and then to properly bring in a Saturday as well. It's a lot to commit, to properly follow college. So just
whilst usually Premier League's on as well.
Obviously, I follow. I've got the NFL, I've got the rugby in England, the rugby in South Africa. If there's international rugby games on, I watch that. I watch the soccer. I follow a lot of sport, so it's just 24/7 now. It's just sport. Yeah,
it is. It would be crazy, but I do like that in the off season. I do like to do nothing but read about it, and watch bits of tape. I must admit, I don't watch loads of tape because it frustrates me because all tape's got to look good because it's made for them to look better. So I'll never really form an opinion based on me watching a video because they're all going to be the best player on the planet from a video for me. But if I see people that I know opinions on Twitter that I agree with Giant wise, I'll always take their opinion as sort of something I think must have a good credibility to it and something that I'd want to see. Then when people start talking about like Rashad Bateman being a lot higher rated than what people are saying in the draft, if that comes from someone I really like on Giants Twitter, then I'm like, okay, right, I'll keep an eye out for how many times his name's mentioned and all that sort of stuff. So, but I mean, it's just crazy. This is the first year where I've been involved in the past 2 years drafts, as in sort of having an idea of what the Giants want, what the Giants need, and where they may go. But this is the first year where I've then actually looked at every single team. You know, when you're talking about the people we've got in our group and everyone sort of, you know, ideal picks what they want and what they're saying about people. The fact we've got, you know, Mart and Jordan, who are, you know, big on the college game and are writing for PFN. What are they, 5 yard at the moment? And
5 yard college,
yeah, and all the stuff you're putting in there. I mean, this is the first year where I'm actually so excited to sit up and, you know, watch the draft and watch the full first round and really see what develops, because it's a year where, like I say, that the three that I've seen, there's never been loads of talk about people, you know, trading up or trading back. Whereas this year, I'm seeing loads of it because of the amount of QBs that are in the first round and the amount of needs that people have got for such lucrative positions. There's talk of all sorts that could happen in the draft. I just hope that when it gets there, something big does happen and it's not just a load of crap. And it's like, yeah, okay, well, everyone went where everyone said they'd go.
Yeah, well, there is always a shock, though, isn't there? You know, Dan Jones was probably, Dan Jones.
All the guys, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dan Jones.
We took Cleve Farrell at 4, I think was it?
Oh yeah.
A couple of years ago, and he wasn't. I don't even know if he's projected to go first round. But
no, there's a lot of like traction at the moment for that Zach Wilson, isn't he? He's just come out of nowhere, and he's gonna apparently could go higher than usual.
Yeah.
So
it's the same as Burrows, though, wasn't it? Like, not last year, obviously he was drafted last year, but the year before, he wasn't even seen as a first rounder. And then
Burrow was
he just,
one 2 years ago.
and he just knuckled down and clearly just elevated himself and focused, and then went, you know, Heisman Trophy and QB1.
I'd be interested to see, go back to last year, and if Tua hadn't got injured, how the draft would have played out then. Because I think you know, it could have blown the whole thing up.
Yeah, well, he was QB1, wasn't he? Everyone.
Yeah, it was, you know, tank for Tua. That was the.
Yeah.
You know, and then he was out, and
it's just mad, isn't it? Because it's like, it's how much things change. If you think about what we were discussing in the group, say maybe a month ago, when, you know, it was like Bengals, hopefully Penei Sewell gets there. Really worried that the Dolphins now may take them. You now sat there, and actually, it's like you think that Dolphins are probably going to take Jamar Chase, and it's like how that can change in a month when no free agency signings have been made.
Nothing's happened.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. It's like, how does that happen? Why is everyone's opinion gone from actually they may try and get Penei Sewell to now actually going, they're going to stick with Tua, and they might look at the line in free agency or draft later in the rounds, but they're going to go out and get Jamar Chase, who's the number 1 wide receiver. How does that happen? It's purely people just talking about it, isn't it?
Rumours and just talk, building traction, and just that's all it is. But I think this year's draft all relies on the Jets. What the Jets do at 2 will set the bar for the draft, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Jets have got 2 firsts, haven't they?
Yes,
got a late one, haven't they?
Yeah.
And I think they've obviously got a really high second one as well, haven't they? So they've almost got 3 firsts, haven't they? You know, in a sense.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pick 34, I guess they'll have.
Yeah.
Still be shit though, won't they?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I think they will go QB. I think we all sit here and agree. Actually, Kieran, I don't know your style on Darnold, but I think he's an okay QB.
I don't think they go QB. I think they try Darnold. You know, new head coach, new system. They say to him, right, you know, this is a year we're going to draft for you here. You know, if they go Penei Sewell at 2 just to get the line, or do they go, you know what, we'll go and get Chase and give you that rapid number 1 receiver that we need. Or if they, you know, the second pick, they pick up a Harris or a St. Etienne for running back. You know, I think this year they're gonna try and put as much weapons for Darnold as possible for him to succeed. And then next year they'll go, we gave you this and you failed. See you later.
Yeah.
I like that.
If there was loyalty in football, they owe it him, don't they? They owe him that. It's just like you say, whether they will or not.
I like Darnold. I think he's he's just been unlucky that he's at the Jets. I think if he went somewhere like, well, I think the Steelers were mentioned in the group, or the Patriots, or someone who's not a million miles away. Steelers aren't a million miles away. I think Big Ben's probably for me. I know he's just.
I don't know what the Steelers are doing.
If they picked up Darnold, I think they'd become a real problem.
An interesting thing I think
why would you stick with Big Ben?
Oh, I don't know.
And put Haskins behind him.
No.
You're just asking for. He's probably going to pick up an injury. And then you are asking someone who's probably about as good as me at QB to then, step up to the plate, and he clearly doesn't give a fuck about football. He's not in it for that. I don't know. It's a weird decision for me, because I think a lot of us were pinned on coming towards the end of the season that they would move on QB wise and go for a starter, and everyone was talking about Darnold, weren't they? Because he'd probably be a good fit there. And then for them to then still, I suppose regardless, they were tied in for 24 mil on Big Ben, regardless whether they cut him or re-signed him. So I suppose there is that. Why not keep someone on? But I wouldn't keep him on as a starter. So we'll pay him, mate. But
here's one for you.
Back up and through.
Put Darnold in that Bucs team from last year. Did they win the Super Bowl? I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not high on Darnold, but it's bias. But I don't think he's shit.
I'd say yes. I reckon put Darnold in there and Bucs do win it.
Bucs pick him up as a backup.
We definitely need that. I just don't understand why we're not looking for a quarterback. Like, surely get a quarterback to play behind Brady for another year and then get him ready for when Brady does leave the season after.
I think Donald will be great at the Bucs.
Unless, obviously, like I said, we are just going to trade for one eventually next season at some point. But I just don't understand.
You also need to look, don't you?
Yeah, we've got Brady and we've got we've got Gabbert, who's just doesn't do anything. He just chills there. He's journeyman. He's been at about 50 teams, hasn't he? He's just he's played for basically nearly every team, and he can't get a starting job. So
excellent segue there into players who've played for many teams, but slight subject change. But Fitzpatrick,
former Buck.
Talking of retiring, I know we're probably not all happy about that. I don't think
it'd be a loss, wouldn't it?
He's a character, and I'd love to see him in the commentary booth or something like that.
He's brilliant, but I'd read that he's only considering it because apparently there's a lack of interest in him in free agency, which I find wild. The amount of teams that need a QB.
Do you think he goes somewhere and starts though?
I don't.
Or do you think he goes somewhere and he's there? Do you think Fitz goes somewhere and starts, or does he go there, start for 3 weeks, and then they bring in a rookie to play or something? It has to be that what it is.
Get another year paycheck, go to the XFL the season after.
He'd be a starter.
Exactly. He openly said, didn't he, that it killed him this season when they dropped him for Tua. So maybe that's it. Maybe there is interest in free agency, but it is. You're going to be our bridge QB, and we might drop you halfway through the season for our rookie. Is he going to want to go through that again?
I bet it's good to have in the locker room, though.
Yeah, I bet he'll be such a loss. He's phenomenal. He's just a geezer, isn't he?
Yeah. Two of my favourite NFL things involved Fitzpatrick, and it was when he did the interview for the Bucs in someone else's clothes. And when he was another time as he was being interviewed straight after a game, and one of his teammates came up and cheered next. I think it was for the Jets, and he just got dead excited and screamed in the face. So good.
That's what you want to see people like that, don't you? People that as much as they're this, superstar and athlete, they come across as a normal person.
Yes,
that's it. Yeah.
If you are not watching and you're listening on Spotify or whatever, you need to watch it, whatever point this is.
Yeah, it was Deshaun. It was where he's wearing Deshaun Jackson's clothes.
And he said, didn't he, at the end of the interview, I've got to go because he wants his clothes back.
Yeah.
The proper gold chain, just a jacket with no t-shirt, just half down.
Yeah. Going back to the positive. Go on, sorry, Kiz.
He definitely is that sort of positive attitude. He's strict, He wants to win. He wants to do his best, but he's positive. He's got a bit of banter to him. He's that sort of calming person you want in the locker room. Just, don't get a little bit too hyped or too heated. Just calms it down, gets everyone sitting down together. That's how he comes across to me. And I think whichever locker room he ends up in, or if he doesn't go in, if he goes away from the Dolphins, it's going to be a massive loss to the league itself, I think.
Has he had a kid in Miami yet? He usually has a kid for every team he goes to, doesn't he?
He got two already. He's a huge bridge QB. I mean, but he should be a seasoned bridge QB, like, especially at this point in his career now. Like, someone should go. We've got a lot of rookies. It don't have to be a rookie QB. It could just be a team of inexperience around him. Why not put someone there that he's clearly a hype man as well? He'll make these rookies feel good about themselves, and he wants people to do well. He'd probably target certain wide receivers and stuff if that was the case. Someone that'd be ideal to have around whilst they're building the team. Even if it's like, I know it sounds crazy, but somewhere like Eagles, who are clearly going to start with Hurts, if Fitz is happy to go somewhere as a backup, they're being honest with him from the start and saying, look, you're not going to be a starter, but we want your experience, one in and around there. Mm-hmm. The Eagles are going to have to, cap-wise, they're screwed, aren't they? So they're going to have to start building up again. Why not have someone around like that? For me, he might be a dick behind the scenes, but you can't ever foresee that, can you? No.
I think, though, if that's what we think about Fitz, what do we think about Alex Smith then, with him being released?
Yeah.
We sort of touched on it last night, didn't we? In the Zoom chat we had, which cheers for coming on time, mate. It was I enjoyed it, mate. I thought it was a good laugh. For those that you're listening who don't know, we had there's about 12 people at one time, I think, maybe 11, 12, where we just jumped on Zoom for an hour and a half last night, just chatted. It wasn't recorded or anything like that. We just had people from the group chat who were free, jumped on, people jumped in and out. It was a good laugh. But we did touch on the Alex Smith situation last night. I think he's similar to Fitz, that he's somebody you would want probably around.
Yeah,
maybe, I don't know. Fitz.
I was bitter about it last week, but then I read today that they saved $14.5 million cap, so I'm like, I sort of get the decision now.
And then they got Heineke for
I think they're mad. Like that $14.5 million, you reinvest.
No, that's what I mean. Like, you get Heineke on a cheap, and then keep that money for something else.
You've got Heineken in the group.
Heineken, Heineken. I just couldn't be arsed trying to spell Heineke, and as soon as I put Hein in, it put Heineken. So I was like, I can stick with that. It makes sense. But yeah, I was very. It's not my team, but I was very bitter about it last week because, like I said, I was happy if it was anyone but the Giants that it was them, purely because of how Alex Smith had come back and what he did for them. And I just thought he was shitty. But then when I read he was going to cost $14.5 million this year, I was like, that was the Giants, I'd want him gone. You would. So I sort of get it.
And he might just join a team halfway through next season and come back player of the year again.
Yeah. He should go somewhere as a backup, 100%.
I would like him up with us.
It'd be great. It'd be great for you. With Burrow coming off the back of a big injury as well. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Because he could be that sort of head that he could lean on from coming back from a massive injury. Burrow could lean on him to get experience from that. And, he isn't a bad quarterback
Smith
at all.
was a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
Kansas City. But that's what the whole big surprise was that they took. They moved up and took Mahomes when they had Alex Smith, who was good.
He was doing well, yeah.
Not Mahomes, though, is he? Annoyingly.
No, but
smart draft.
He's part of the reason that Mahomes developed as quickly as he did. Yeah. So surely you look at that as a team, don't you, and go, like you say, Kieran, the Bengals, it'd be great him up because it'd be great. You'd hope that he'd have similar sort of impact. Yeah. And Burrows is clearly on a good trajectory. Clearly,
he was going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Obviously, he didn't have his injury.
At that point, but then Herbert hadn't hit his peak that he then started to hit straight after, didn't he?
Burrow could have just gone.
Herbert sort of got to his peak right after Burrow got injured, and then just went up and up and up and up.
It was perfect. So I think
it's awesome to see Burrow and Herbert playing at their peak last year at the same time, and seeing if they both sort of pushed each other as rookies to see what they can do in a season.
I'm really hoping Herbert's a one-off. What's one season?
Yeah.
One season wonder, and he just goes shit forever now.
Yeah, it all depends what they do for him, doesn't it? Because you can only in your rookie year you're gonna put it all out, aren't you?
You'd expect so.
Yeah, and then you start to then think as a QB, right? I've delivered. I maybe need to deliver in the second year as well because I want to get paid soon. But if this team aren't putting stuff around me to protect me, I mean, look at Burrows. The Bengals, you'll be a great person to speak about this, Kieran. They clearly need to give him some protection, don't they? Otherwise, you're probably going to be in a similar boat next season. The amount of
Burrow had got injured last year, he was on target. No, he was above target to be the most hit rookie quarterback ever.
Yeah.
From week one last season, the Bengals fans on Twitter exploded saying he's going to do his ACL this year. He's going to fuck his ACL. If we carry on with this, he's going to fuck his ACL. Yeah. What happened? He fucked his ACL. So
he was scrambling from his life all the time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he's not really a scrambler from what I've seen.
No.
Little I'd seen from college. He's more of an old school quarterback. Very much of the Brady
an old school
mold,
quarterback, but
Rodgers
with a good set of legs on him if he needs to be. The person that I would compare him to is like a Wentz coming out of college.
Okay, I was going to say he's better than Wentz already.
Better than Wentz already, but like coming out of college, that sort of like good arm, good eye, good movement around the back in the pocket. But if you get him to run, it's a bit iffy.
I think this is the first time in a while that a quarterback's come out in their rookie season and got injured straight away. But surely this is something that's quite wrong with a quarterback going to the shittest team that year. Like, because they've got no protection for them, do they? So it's like, yeah, I'll play for you, but then you've got no good players around you, so you're gonna get hit. But
it's a catch-22, isn't it? You go into a team that couldn't protect a quarterback, therefore were rubbish.
Yeah. That's why I'm mega excited about the Jags this year, because they've not just got number one pick, they've got unbelievable amount of cap space.
Yeah, they've been really smart. If they've intentionally got that number one pick.
Yeah.
They've got plenty of room, plenty of money, high picks. Jags, and to be fair, they almost made the Super Bowl a couple of years ago with Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
And did have Leonard Fournette though, didn't they?
Yeah, and they have Jalen Ramsey as well, but both of them are pricks as well at the Jags. But
Jalen Ramsey is a cock, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a proper one.
I like him. I don't mind
Great player.
Yeah. There's certain people that I don't mind being a cock because you think, you know what, it's quite funny. And even when he absolutely speared Golden Tate, like, it was Golden Tate, so I was happy. I was like, you know what, fucking good on you. Whereas if he played for the Eagles or something, and I was having to deal with that twice a season, I'd think he was a proper cock. I just think he's a funny cock now because he's not in our division. But he's a cock.
He is a cock. But he's a great player. I like you, I don't mind it when their player is a bell end and they can sort of justify a little bit. I don't mind that at all. I do mind it when they're a bell end and they're not. Well, I mind it when they're a bell end and they play for the Chiefs, the Broncos, or the Chargers, or the Patriots, or now the Buccaneers, or the 49ers. I can keep going, actually, to be fair.
No, I like it when it's a bit.
How many teams do you like in the NFL?
I have soft spots for a few teams. Bengals
like
is
the
one.
Buccaneers was before Brady.
Yeah, and when Brady goes, I'll go back to quite liking the Bucs. I don't mind them. I just really don't like Brady.
I've actually got a commemorative T-shirt for today's podcast as well.
I know what's coming.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Again, make sure you're watching, not listening, because that was very visual.
It wasn't the award-winning T-shirt. I mean, he comes on straight away and he's like, I'm retaining this next year. I am retaining next year.
I'm determined this is my trophy.
Maybe we'll have an off-season awards.
Yeah,
the off-season awards before the season starts.
Yeah, every credit.
Every guest now has to bring something special as a T-shirt.
Going back to the Bucs and the whole what are they going to do QB wise, Jamie? And you were saying like, surely they start looking. You've got to factor in like a bit of maturity as well. So I'm sure the people that talk about college game in our group are saying that next year's QB draft class is mediocre. So you're then going, well, if Brady does finish this year, you're not going to draft the QB next year. So where are you getting that QB from? What's going to happen?
It's going to be a trade, isn't it? Like we're going to trade or pick somebody up from
Probably
free
take
agency,
Goff.
I assume.
I imagine the Lions.
It'll be
Yeah,
someone
Goff.
like that. It was like, we'll take Russell Wilson or something because he's kind of like going all over the place at the minute, isn't he? So you don't know what's going to happen. But
You've won one Super Bowl, right? You're not a fucking big team. Get over it.
Probably get Russell
good
Wilson
year
or
as
Aaron
well.
Rodgers or
Yeah,
something.
you've got to be back to where you belong.
Probably get Patrick
back
Mahomes.
to where we belong.
Trade
I mean,
these
like I
really
said, I would happily have Winston back. I don't care. Like, I would love
You
Winston
would.
back.
good-
I would
I'm
have
sure.
him back.
99.9%
What do you
of
reckon
the
the
Buccaneers.
crack with
fan base.
Prescott's going to be then?
Well,
Do you
yeah.
reckon he goes back?
He's
I
obviously,
don't
he
know.
obviously wants paying big, and the franchise tag is going to cost them a lot because of obviously what the highest paid QBs are.
Yeah.
But it could save the money.
It could save them money. I don't
That's the
fully
mad
know how the
thing.
franchise work, but I was reading. I think they have to have the money in the salary cap to put the franchise tag on, but then they get it back. But you have to demonstrate that you can afford it first. So I think that's to stop people sort of
Doing it for
going, oh well, we'll just add an extra 20 mil onto our cap actually by franchising someone. So I mean, I don't know what the franchise tag would be on Dak, but I'm sure Mark was saying
it's going to be high.
Yeah, is it like your average of your top 3 or top 5 pay?
Top 5, I think it is.
And when you've got Mahomes in there at half a bill,
50 million a year average.
you're going to be talking upwards of 30 mil, aren't you?
Easy. I was looking. We signed Derek Carr to a 25 million year, 5-year deal. Only
So
4 years ago.
Prescott's franchise tag would be 37.7 million.
That's what I was saying about Derek Carr. At the time, he was the highest paid player in NFL history, and that was only about 3 years ago.
They got beat like a week later, though, didn't it?
By Stafford, yeah. They were both the ones that were looking to sign new deals, and they were hanging on because
That was like Deshaun and Mahomes, wasn't it?
Yeah, they both wanted to be the highest paid player, but Derek Carr, I don't think was as arsed as Stafford, so he just took 25 million, which is not.
He just took it. It was like, yeah, just give me 25. It's fine. Just go for it.
I'll
If
defend
I
him.
have to.
A lot of Carr's money goes to charities in Haiti, so I'll defend him. a little bit.
Yeah, I've just had a look, and the Cowboys have apparently got 31 in cap space free. So they wouldn't actually have to move too much about, but then they've got nothing else to work with, I suppose. It's what you want to do. You know, again, you've then got to look at
Quite a high pick, haven't they?
season. Yeah, they're number 10. So it's like you look at do we have a Dak for a year and then assess what the market's like then, but you know nothing's going to be coming through in the draft. So
In my opinion,
I think they'd be
Cowboys
mad to move from it.
just stick with Andy Dalton. You know, I think he's one of the greatest QBs ever. So, you know, just keep with him and he'll keep you sailing along. It'll be fine.
Do you know,
The thing is, in that
Andy
division,
Dalton.
they will remain competitive because if they have someone like Andy Dalton, like they did remain competitive. They finished third, and it was only by
Third
the
out of
fact that
4.
we beat them. Yeah. So it's not the worst decision.
I like Dalton. Back when you were talking, Kieran, when the Bengals were much better than they are now, Dalton was so solid as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Bit of
It
a
was
bottle
the
when
line.
it came to
It was the
playoffs.
line and it was the wide receivers and stuff that kept him. It's if you give him enough protection,
Tell you what,
he's an outstanding QB.
get AJ Green at the Cowboys, throw Dalton in there. There's a connection that was firing 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they haven't exactly got a bad wide receiver corps, have they?
No.
You've got Cooper, CD Lamb.
Yeah.
Got Gallup as well, or is he?
Yeah, you know, you're right. You're right, they have you.
I've got
Yeah.
a signed Amari Cooper jersey just up there.
Yeah. And then they've got two solid running backs. You've got Zeke, who's massively overrated and a prick, but he's solid enough. And
He's good. He's good.
Yeah, and then is it Pollock or what the other one's Pollard or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, some dick.
No mark.
But again, I think the Cowboys would be mad to move from Dak. I think he is overrated. I think he feels he's better than what he is, but he's probably the best QB in that division.
Fifth round pick, wasn't he?
5th round pick, yeah.
He was only taken as a backup, and Tony made of glass Romo,
Yeah.
got injured, and that just came out balling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny, I think Dak Prescott's taken after Connor Cook, who we took in the 5th round as a backup quarterback. And Connor Cook's first start was that playoff game against the Texans, where I don't even think he threw the ball. So
it is crazy when you look back. I was sat here there. I can't remember the examples, but obviously the Giants are notoriously known for drafting terrible as it is in my sort of tenure. And I was looking like the other day, based on obviously we took Andrew Thomas as the first left tackle, and then you've got like Tristan Wirfs that sat there. I'm really bitter about that. So I went back like year by year and had a look, and I looked at like the year we took Sterling Shepard, and I was like, I wonder what. I mean, I don't mind Shepard, but I was like, I wonder what wide receivers were drafted like below him. Michael Thomas was one. And I was like, brilliant, fantastic. And he's like,
I think you can do that for every team, though, can't you?
Of course you can. Yeah, you're always going to get wins, aren't you, in the lower picks? But I was just in one of those sort of I hate myself moments, and I want to look at how shit my franchise actually is.
I tend to be happy with our later picks. But, we got Hunter Renfrow and Max Crosby in rounds 3 and 4, I think.
Yeah,
both great players that I'm happy with. But we took Cleve Farrell and that fucking idiot in the 1st round, though. But we also got Josh Jacobs as well. So.
Yeah, we took Darius Slayton in the 5th round, and he had a great rookie season, and then Jason Garrett happened, and it was a shame because he probably would have done well last year. But I don't know. I don't know what the Cowboys do going back to it. I'm interested because it's my division. I really hope we move on from him. If we have the 3 starting QBs up against DJ, we've got Jalen Hurts, Andy Dalton maybe, or someone else, and fucking Heineken. I'll take that all day long.
That's the worst quarterback league. Dalton's all right.
Not getting into the debate.
Come on, you normally bite.
The boy.
I was doing a bit of
I would take it
looking up on previous draft years, and I found quite interesting was that it's only been the last few years, maybe the last 6 years, where quarterbacks have gone a lot in the 1st round. Before that, like you were looking at like round 2 for your quarterback. What is it? What? I mean, I've got no knowledge of what it was, but what do you think it was that pushed quarterbacks to go up? Was it the building of the college football game and that improving massively, or?
It's like the new style of quarterback, isn't it? It's like there's so many older quarterbacks now. You need that new style of quarterback in your game to obviously change your mobile quarterbacks to run more and be more mobile on the ball. So I assume that's probably why quarterbacks are going more now, because there's that need for those type of quarterbacks, because there's still half of the teams, mostly in the NFL, that still have those old guard quarterbacks. That's my view anyway, whether that's right.
To do with it. I think the fact that obviously they get paid, they're obviously a heavy
and whoever that quarterback's going to be is most likely going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year anyway, because it's not going to any other position. So
yeah, so if you've got a need
got over him,
that to be fair, that makes me sick as well because I can't stand Kyler. But I suppose I don't know if pay has anything to do with it, but obviously they're probably the highest paid position, aren't they? So you want to get one in the draft to get a 5-year rookie deal. Is that maybe why they go higher? I don't know. And maybe the game's changed a bit. I think we spoke about on the pod halfway through the season, we were saying that as much as people still think that defenses win your championships and proven by the books, the game tends to side more to offensive needs now, doesn't it? Maybe that's something to play with it.
Yeah, like I said,
you talk. I think, Kieran, you should ask that in the group because I'd love to know Mark and Andy's not there at the moment.
I'll stick it in later on and see what
they. Yeah, I was just thinking, like I said,
they obviously got a lot of a deeper knowledge.
Yeah, looking at older classes and stuff, I went back to Jameis Winston's year. There was only 2 quarterbacks in the 1st round. That was it. First and second.
What year was that?
2015. They were 1st and 2nd round picks.
Second will have been. It was Derek Carr and he was 2nd round.
Derek Carr was that year as well.
I think so.
I can't I can't see Derek Carr's name on
Carr
here,
might have been
but-
14. He was round 2, Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I don't know who was
But
it.
I mean, like, looking how great at that year as well. I was looking through like some of the main players that went that year. Amari Cooper went that year. Todd Gurley went that
We
year.
took Cooper at number 4.
Melvin Gordon went that year. Marcus Peters, Tyler Lockett, and Stephon Diggs was a 5th round pick.
No, we didn't.
Oh, me.
And
Who was your QB?
It was Matt's second quarterback, Marcus Mariota, for the Titans.
Ah, of course, I fucking did know that.
So yeah, I mean, there were only 2 quarterbacks in the first round, and that was what 5-6 years ago. So
Yeah. I wonder if it depends on what comes through as well. Because like,
yeah, of course, like
the fact that there's 5 first round QBs this year, is that down to quality or is that down to desire? I think if it was more down to teams need, maybe even Trask could still sneak in. It might just be quality based. Who knows?
Raiders was Derek Carr was 2014, but you're right with the year before as well, because Blake Bortles was the highest taken quarterback that year, and that was number 3. Interestingly enough, Jadeveon Clowney was number 1, and Greg Robinson 2, Sammy Watkins at 4, and Khalil Mack at 5. So some decent talent there, but you scroll
Sammy
right.
Watkins taken at number 4.
Number 2. Number 4, sorry.
Wow.
Number 4. Yeah. You're scrolling right the way down to pick 22 for the next quarterback.
same with the year after. There's only 2 in the first round again.
Although there was another one.
And that was pick 1 and 2 again.
There was 3 in the first round, but Bridgewater was number 32. But the quarterback taken number 22 in the 2014 draft, quite possibly one of the worst players to ever play in the NFL. Not so much from his talent, or from his attitude.
Dwayne.
Quarterback.
No, he was DJ.
Yeah, Dwayne Haskins. That's what I was thinking.
Oh no, so it's 2014. Johnny
His
Football.
attitude.
Johnny Manziel.
Oh shit!
What's
Got
he
who the
doing?
Giants took in 2015 draft at number 9. Eric fucking Flowers. I was reading, right? I was telling Josh about this. I found this stat really fucking infuriating, but I have to laugh about it. So in Gettleman's time, so the rebuild, and obviously where he's massively focused on our O-line, he has used 5 first or second round picks on our O-line, and we're still the second worst O-line in the division last year.
It's amazing.
I'm just thinking we've actually drafted well. We took Amari Cooper in the first round in 15. Took Khalil Mack in the first round in 14. Oh no, we got rid of them both.
I mean, I'm just looking
I think
at
the Cooper decision was the right decision.
Mahomes wasn't pick number 1.
He was pick number 10, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was 10th.
Trubisky was above him. That's just mental.
It
And
is funny,
none of
isn't it?
them, none of them were even
Bears
first round
Trubisky as
picks.
well.
What was that? Sorry,
Did the Bears trade up and pick Trubisky?
I think so. Yeah, Myles Garrett was the number 1 pick.
Good play.
And then, like I said, it's a good class. Like you had Leonard Fournette, Jamal Adams, Christian McCaffrey, all picked above Mahomes, and then Deshaun Watson was just behind Mahomes in 12th.
How many players were picked above Brady?
A lot.
Shit,
What, 299, 298? Ridiculous.
Something stupid, isn't it?
Yeah,
He's
he's
crazy,
Mr. Irrelevant, isn't he? So
Still is.
I would take Crowder
7
last year,
times.
and he played well for us. He was decent next to Martinez until he got injured, and then he was all right when he came back as well. I liked it. I like that Mr. Irrelevant. I didn't know about Mr. Irrelevant until last year.
So last overall pick, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is it 271 or something stupid?
something weird, isn't it? And it's normally like we got it because it was a comp pick. I don't.
Yeah,
get
I'm gonna say
it.
it'll change. It'll
Weird.
change. It'll change what
Yeah.
number it is because you get compensatory picks, don't you?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm so excited about the draft. I must admit. Like,
You taking the Friday off?
I'm sure I booked it off. I'm sure I have because I messaged Phil to tell him to book it off. I don't know if he has yet, but I think what stage are we at lockdown wise at that point? Are we at a point where we can have anyone round? Maybe watch it in the garden.
I think
No.
yeah. I think we
Watch
can
in the
watch it.
garden, yeah.
You can
3
technically
weeks
meet
later,
one
something.
person now, can't you? If you're going out
From
for
today.
coffee.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
I'll get, in that huge garden I've got, I'll get the blow up screen out and get the projector on, and I think we can have 6 people then, can't we?
What, on the
Draft
Friday?
party, baby.
On the Friday?
No, it's Thursday night, isn't it?
Thursday night, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like 1 a.m. in
Friday,
there.
Saturday.
Yeah, it's Friday, I suppose. if you keep it
Because guess who turns 30 on the Friday?
Oh yeah!
Who?
My birthday's on the 30th.
Who turns 30?
This guy right here.
I'm sorry, what?
Wow.
So draft wise then, Kieran, who is it? Is your number one Sewell? Is that who you want?
So, no, for me, I don't want Sewell. If he got him, I'm happy, but
Yeah.
I don't. I think there's too many linemen in free agency for us not to go big in there. We could go and get someone like Joe Thuney or Scherf, I think, from the Washington football team. A bit of a few other people to slot in. I think there's too much there to not get 2 or 3 big players there.
Yeah.
I think if it falls right, we should have a choice of Chase or Pitts or trade back. I think there'll be plenty of teams wanting out a pick, and we can trade back.
Yeah.
Maybe try and stay top 10 and take someone like Slater, who I think might end up better than Sewell.
Yeah. To be fair, I've seen quite a few people saying Slater's being slept on.
Yeah.
I've started to see him to creep into like the number 12 spots. I think Sam ran a 12. I think behind us. Well, he might be 15.
49 to 12. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people saying that they reckon Slater will. That's the lowest he'll fall.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched much tape again. This is just what I'm reading about. I know Mark he couldn't say anything more about Penei Sewell. He just said he's a generational talent. So I don't know, but I think you're right. There's, especially with all the cap cuts that's going on at the moment and all the free agents, there's a lot of tackles out there and an O-line out there. I was seeing one earlier that I can't remember who it was, but I'm sure it was the Ravens are releasing someone from left tackle because it saves them $5 million a year.
Yeah,
and he's a big name.
Teams like the Jags, Jets, Bengals, Broncos. I think this is a good year for you to rebuild fully and make a push for that wild card next season. Like a lot of teams under the cap or having little cap, you can just offer that player a little bit more money, and if they want to play for the money, they'll come for the money. But the teams that are contending don't have a lot of money, so I think there'll be a lot of shocks in free agency about where players go and the amount of money players take. You might see a really, really good player accept a really little deal just to try and get a ring.
Yeah.
OBJ.
He's already got a big contract, isn't he, though? That's the problem.
I just wanted to say it because I know Tom didn't want to talk about him.
You'd have to restructure that, and I don't know if OBJ's got it in to take a pay cut.
Nah, he's just a dick, isn't he? But he's more than welcome if he wants to come join the party. I'll buy a jersey just for you, Tom.
Who's the Bucks player who takes the most shits? Because that might swing it.
He takes the most shits.
That's what he's into, isn't he, OBJ?
Yeah.
Wow.
Going back to the free agency tackles, you can have Nate Solder from us if you want, Kieran, for $16 million a year. Quite cheap.
I'd rather have Kevin Zeitler back.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't want us to release Zeitler. I
think that was a massive mistake on our part. Letting him go. Him and Andrew Whitworth, we let them go. We've never ever gotten a replacement.
Yeah, he was solid for us last year. I think he was at fault for one sack, I think, last year, which in the Giants' whole line is unheard of. They're normally a digit after that. And he's going to cost us 12 mil this year. So a lot of the rumours are, do we cut? Well, we wouldn't cut, we'd trade, because there'd be plenty of suitors for him. Or can he restructure? I hope they restructure, because we've got, a rookie left tackle going into his second year. We've got a third-year centre, but it's actually his second year at centre. We moved Nick Gates from guard to centre last year. They were both solid. Thomas took his stick at the start, but he came on. And Nick Gates was brilliant. I think he hardly allowed any pressures at centre for it being his first year. We were really happy with him. And then we've got an absolute joke at right tackle. So you need someone that's solid. And I was happy with Kevin Zeitler, I must admit. I'd be loath to see him go. But we've got to sort out what we're doing with Soldan. They were talking about, obviously, it differs when you cut them, depending on if they're the 1st of June or not.
Yeah.
Because I think that's when the contract starts or something. So we'd save an extra 4 mil if we wait till after the 1st of June. If we cut him after the 1st of June, we get an extra 4 million cap. Obviously, by that point, a lot of your big free agency moves have already happened. So it's like, do you wait? Do you wait for then, or do you actually cut him now? I think we'd gain 8 rather than 12 if we cut him now, and then take that and try and use it somewhere, because we've got so many holes to fill.
Well, if you want Bobby Hart, I'm sure we can come up with a trade there.
I'd probably trade him for Solder, mate.
Basically, we've just become GMs, haven't we? We've got some deals in
here. Yeah, just hang on. Let me look my next one. I'll just check Twitter. Yeah, it's going to be, like I said, I think, especially with the group, it's I've said this before on the pod numerous times, like, this has become a real obsession, not just because of the pod, but because of the sport in general, and how other sports that I've followed are going. And now that the group's involved, you don't get away from it in off season, which I love. I'm happy about. There's not a day goes past where you're not reading something or you're talking to someone about what's going on, and it just gets me so excited for it, just to see what happens. I just can't wait. I'm hoping that having it this way makes the gap between the playing time go quicker.
It's funny. I looked at our old group chat today.
Did you?
Yeah, and I looked back at the times between messages during the off season. There was times when there was at least a week to 10 days of nothing.
Yeah.
There's like, I don't know, 5, 6 was in there maybe.
Yeah,
there was times when there was like over a week where nobody spoke.
Yeah.
Now
that's it. You've got 60 heads now, haven't you?
It's rare where there's an hour that goes by.
Yeah. And there's such a variance of people's interest and knowledge that you're always going to get someone that's either got a question to ask. Like is it DJ that's in there? He'll just go, right, I don't understand this.
Yeah.
What's what? And then I'm glad he's asked that, because I haven't actually got a clue about that. And then someone will then explain it or talk through it.
Here's Margot Robbie in a bathtub to explain it.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah. We maybe need to do you know what? Right.
Are we going to do that next time? Here's Tom Higgins in a bathtub to explain.
We've talked about it, haven't we? We've talked about, obviously, when we did those adverts, we now want to reenact some scenes. We need to do some big short, we went through the whole. We need to start talking about that next season. We really need to think about
if we do a mid-season awards.
It's like what is it? It's you don't understand what I've gone completely blank now. You don't understand what franchise tag is. Well, here's Tom Higgins in a bathtub to explain it to you. It's just there with all bubbles, like
just sipping on champers. Yeah, that's it. We've nailed it. We're gonna have to go through the big short, because there's a few others, isn't there? There's not.
Here's Selena Gomez to explain it. Yeah, Selena Gomez at the tables.
Yeah, we'll sort that 100%.
Do you have a bath?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm game for the bubble bath.
Bubbles.
I've probably got a better pair of tits than Margot as well.
No, mate.
Yeah. You've not seen hers, Matt. You've seen that.
Quite right.
We've got plenty of ideas and stuff to do in regards to adverts and stuff. Just speaking about it, then I've like two's just come to my head. I don't want to spoil, so I'll talk about it when we're not recording.
I think we owe it to the pod as well. As much as we'll sit here and we'll happily admit that there is no research really done behind this or no prep or anything. We jump on 5 or 10 minutes before an episode and
don't even talk about
chat to our guests
eating dinner,
what it is. Or just to sort of ease anyone in, and then it goes. But we do want to get a bit more fun editing in there. We had a great time with the awards.
This
week's prep to Kieran was, Kieran, you know the scripts. Yep, sound.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
You know the script. We'll ask you about the Bengals and we'll talk bollocks. Right, brilliant.
Yeah,
it was chicken Kievs and rice. It was AEW. You ready? Yeah, let's go.
Literally.
Yeah. But
it's literally what we spoke about.
Chicken Kievs and rice. I love that.
It was a good dinner.
Do you know what? I love a chicken Kiev. Is it garlic chicken Kiev?
Of course. There is no other kind of chicken Kiev.
With chips and beans, man.
With the garlic Kiev.
Pardon?
Do you put it in the oven with a bit of bread underneath it, so it all soaks out into the bread, and you get garlic bread?
That. It becomes like a garlic toasty bread, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely banging.
Oh, this is killing me.
How's your salad, Tom?
Thanks for listening to the Third and Weight podcast.
Yeah.
This week we've all put on.
There's our food corner.
Oh, that's amazing. To be fair, we had a chippy yesterday. They've opened up a seniors up by your pizza company, haven't they, Matt? So we went there, and then I went to Premier to get some bread whilst we were waiting, and didn't realise they've opened a bloody sweet shop on that corner, haven't they?
Open on Friday.
Oh, so I came. It's so like, I'm the one in this house that is like focused on losing weight and stuff at the moment, and Laura is, but like I'm once like, no, we're doing meal prep, we're losing weight, blah blah. And I come back with money that she'd give me for bread, and I was like, please, we've had a chippy, can we go to the sweet shop? It's like, what are you fucking on about? What sweet? I was like, you go to the sweet shop around there, and it says there's American sweets. And I was just in there like, oh,
M&M
everywhere. No fucking peanut butter M&Ms. What American shop doesn't have peanut butter M&Ms? I was spewing.
They've been working on it for about 2 weeks, and it opened on Friday.
Yeah, it was an. Do you know what? For those that are listening from Blackpool, fuck Mr. Sims off in town, because the price difference compared to I'm not sure what it's called, but it's on.
I think it's opposite where the Welcome was, or the Hungry Horse Cherry Tree.
Next to the pizza company, which by the way is a great pizza company as well. It's great selection, and it's so much cheaper than Mr. Sims. Mr. Sims is again another good shop in Hounshill for those that are listening from Blackpool, but fucking extortionate.
Talking about Blackpool, spoke to Kieran last night after our little Zoom chat, and he's bang up for coming over to our end for a session.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's like I say, mate, spare room here, more than welcome.
Yeah. We'll all end up there.
As long as you're all right with a fucking bear attacking you, then
about the dog
good.
And the dog as well.
I know Kieran's fine with dogs. He didn't have to clear that. Just the bear I needed to clear. You saw her walking about putting this stuff on before. I think I'm safe to say that because I don't think she watches this far.
Oh, I'm gonna message her.
I think she'll watch about 5 minutes.
Well, a little surprise at the end.
The walls look all right and the sound quality's all right, and then she'll be like, "I'll just leave it to play." So
Jamie's gonna do a special intro.
Yeah.
Have you got like a little Phil video to throw in of Laura at the end of the episode to see if she actually watches?
That is one of the best things we've ever done. That little prank that we played on weeks ago, and we managed to use it as the ending for the awards. Just so good.
Brilliant. So good.
Well,
is that it?
I can say it wraps us up.
Again, as you can tell, these episodes are not planned at all. It just comes to a natural stop where everyone's like, right, we've said enough.
Yeah.
There's no more stuff to talk about.
We talked about
is that it?
Sweet shops, chippies, chicken Kiev.
Welcome to the NFL/Anything Goes podcast.
Yeah, NFL for 5 minutes, bollocks for 55. But you know,
that's the WhatsApp, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if you go in there now, they're just talking about Harry and Meghan at the minute. So
There you go. If you want to join an NFL group chat that's not about NFL, give us a shout. We'll throw you in.
I'm sure we spent 2 days arguing over makeup and not being blended into women's necks.
Yeah.
Do you know what? We haven't actually spoke about Kay Adams, so well.
Yeah, we've got him, haven't we, while you're on?
We've got to.
I mean, he only won the award for Kay Adams.
I'm a fan of Kay Adams. I think she's very attractive. I think she's really good looking. I don't think anyone's disputed that. Your issue, Tom, was her makeup.
So, obviously, it was just very disappointing because someone who, like you say, she's very good looking, clearly, earns a buck or two, and clearly knows.
She earns a lot of money doing what we're doing.
Yeah, and she's very knowledgeable. Don't get me wrong, very knowledgeable. But for someone who, God, no, I'm not even going into that. I get fucking cancel culture. But she obviously then, as everyone did, they had to work from home. She clearly didn't have a makeup woman working for her because she didn't know how to blend the makeup on her neck. And it was just very frustrating. And do you know what? She probably did know how to blend it. She probably just doesn't give a shit because she earns that much money and doesn't need any gratification from someone like me or Josh Davis who agreed with me. But I was just disappointed. She just let her standard slip a little bit, and it was Kieran I was bothered about more than anything.
You still want that on a t-shirt, did you? That the blended.
Yeah, that's it. But no, I mean, again, I've got to be really careful what I say in these things now, because if we ever end up getting someone on from the NFL, which hopefully we will, not ever want to have this awkward conversation. So, Aaron Rodgers, talk to me about the NFL.
Let's go back to episode 2 where Tom goes.
And there's just a montage of me just absolutely laying into him.
Love it if we got Brady on, right? And I was just talking to him, being nice and that. And he went, actually, Matt, in episode 7, 11, 12, 14, 21, you called me a cunt. I'd be like,
you're just there going, oh, thank you so much for coming on, Mr. Brady. It's such a pleasure. I mean, you're a great talent.
I would not sell my soul to the devil.
You just be like, hey, mate, come on, Jamie, you do something.
Oh, do you know what happened? This had happened.
I was just going to say,
I hate it when we do this because now it's all changed round again.
That hasn't for me.
It's always the
You can move people back.
Yeah, but I told you this. I might crash somewhere. I'm going for it. I'm having it.
I mean, we're at the end anyway, Tom. You're okay. Just do it.
Yeah.
We're not at the end because we decided we're going to talk about Kay. And we need to talk about the unbelievable shirt moment that we won the award.
And also, I think she's replied to you a few times on Twitter now, hasn't she?
Many times.
Yeah.
You're almost related.
I mean, you'd say, Kay Adams and that Kay Adam. You'd think we're related, wouldn't you? It's very suspicious. I think she's seen how popular the Kay Adams is.
It's not even a name, is it?
I'll just take that myself.
You ever get married, she don't have to change your name or anything, does she?
Exactly.
The Kay Adams. The Kay Adams family. Kay Adams. Oh, the t-shirt.
Oh, it's brilliant.
How did it happen? Well, obviously, we know, like, you tweeted her. She was like, yeah, sure. And it just spiraled from there.
I think back. What was it? It was she appeared on Good Morning Britain with the Snoopy Bengals t-shirt. And I was like, someone had messaged her. I said to her, why? Someone said to her, why have you got the Bengals top on? And she just said, I think they're going in a good place. I think they're a good team, good socials. I like the setup and everything. And I just thought to myself, that would be a unique T-shirt, and it would just be something cool. I thought, her with a Bengals top on for a Bengals fan, and I was just like, well, let's just see what the crack is. She'll probably say no. I'll just drop it a tweet, bit of crack. Any chance I can do that? And she went, yeah, but don't worry about me. Don't worry about Snoopy trying to sue you. Sound right? Straight on a t-shirt. And then what was it that kicked it all off? It was something it was. I put a picture up and she retweeted it with a comment.
Yeah.
And all the Americans just started hating and hating. And I was sitting back going,
Gold.
It was amazing. It is one of our pod's goals to get her on Good Morning Britain wearing a t-shirt of you wearing a t-shirt.
Has to happen. Kay
Adams Inception. It's literally
We'll break YouTube.
And then it will just have a recurring theme because then you'll then need to have that on a t-shirt.
I'll just get it again.
Yeah.
Back and forth. We'll just go all season. Just me and her swap and over.
Yeah, it really has got to be done.
Yeah, I just love it if just randomly like Kyle Brandt was just wearing the t-shirt of you wearing her, wearing you.
There's 4 of them, isn't there? And there's 3 of us and Gary. If 4 of us, we could we'd swap Gary for Kieran anyway, wouldn't we, for purposes of t-shirt wearing.
Yeah, we've got it.
To be honest, we'd swap Gary for anyone.
We love you really, Gary. We do.
You don't listen.
Now get us more followers.
Yeah, it's funny actually. I spoke. We played on Warzone dinner the other night, and I called him boring. He went, "Jesus, mate, I accept it in a group chat, but not in real life." And guys, we're playing Warzone, we're playing Call of Duty. It's funny though.
He is a funny guy.
Yeah. Only joking, guys. Wouldn't swap you for many people.
But if there's any people there with social networking experience,
or not.
yeah.
If anyone out there who's not a Bucks fan or a United fan.
God, yeah, he's 2 of the worst, isn't he?
So is Jamie though.
I know, yeah. Bucks in the
He was giving me grief on WhatsApp the other day with the picture of the dog with the cap on. He texted saying, "Oh mate, I need to know what your dog's name is." And I was like, "All right, yeah, it's Ollie." And I said, "We have to draw it from my heart. It was almost called Shearer." And he went, "Dirty fucking name that. Dirty fucking name." You fucking bastard.
He's still bitter, isn't he?
Still bitter from that. Great.
Yeah, I think is that it now? We done before we got anything else we forgot about.
Unless you want to talk about DMs again.
I can talk about food all day, to be honest. But no, massive thank you for coming on, Kieran. As Tom said, you're one of the originals we now see. Not only a friend in the group chat and a friend of the pod, but a friend I'll have probably forever. And I know everyone else will think the same as well.
As I said, great coming on. Great bunch of lads. And if anyone's listening that's not in the WhatsApp, get in it because it's just great. It is fantastic. It
is good fun. As usual, check us out on all the socials. Really can't be arsed saying them because I still don't.
Third short pod.
Yeah, there you go. That'll do. Also check out silverfx.co.uk. We've got all the merch and stuff that 3 of us are wearing and our producer's not, which is why he didn't win an award at the awards show. Not even that supportive.
Sorry, guys.
He has now. He has. I thought he was going to get one of our bits of merch, and he hasn't even done that. So if there's any producers out there as well, get in touch because as long as you can use Zoom, no,
I just guide us, please.
Yeah. But no, thanks very much for coming on. Another great episode. I've really enjoyed it. We've got some guests queued up, I think, for the next 3 weeks or so. Some really good guests coming up as well. That's not saying you weren't a good guest, Kieran, at all.
We got some great guests after this.
As I said that, it made it sound like you
sorry about this. No. Sorry about this place, Matt.
No, some more good guests to continue the theme with the guests we've had so far. Thank you. But yeah, I think as per retweet, all that sort of stuff, follow, like, share. Don't know how it all works. Not very good, which is why we're drafted in Gaz to do all that for us. It's been great.